This is the Valley Today.
We have new information this morning on breaking news we first told you about on the Valley Today on a missing Minnesota boy. His 24-year-old mother is now in custody and facing kidnapping charges after that 9-month-old was found safe. Zenitri Forrester and the child were tracked down in Wisconsin yesterday after police say she abducted that child in Shakopee near the Twin Cities.
Court documents say Forrester was allowed to hold her child during a scheduled visitation at the Scott County Government Center, but ran out of the building with him, and a Child Protection Services worker chased after them. The worker lost sight of her after several blocks. The complaint says Forrester's father witnessed her throw the child on the ground last Thursday. He was put on a health and safety hold with the Shakopee Police Department the next day. The little boy is currently at St. Paul Children's Hospital. A woman is in jail accused in a deadly fire in northern Minnesota. The Beltrami County Sheriff's Office says firefighters found a camping trailer in flames Tuesday night near Cass Lake, which is southeast of Bemidji.
The body was found in the trailer after that fire was put out. Investigators say a woman had started that fire and then ran from the scene. Police in the Twin Cities suburb of Brooklyn Center later arrested 34-year-old Cora Lee Corderer of Bena, Minnesota. She's now in the Beltrami County Jail on murder and arson charges. The body found in that fire is undergoing an autopsy to determine the person's ID and the exact cause of death. Friends and family will grieve today and gather to say goodbye to a young mother who was murdered by her ex-husband.
Memorial services for 31-year-old Carissa Odegaard are today at Hope Church in Grand Forks. Visitation is at 1 this afternoon, with the funeral following at 2.
It is now 6:02 on this Thursday morning. Let's get a check of the forecast, and we are in full-blown fall mood here on the Valley Today. Good morning, Summer.
Good morning. Absolutely. It is the first day of meteorological fall, September 1st, also called climatological fall. And it's just the months of September, October, and November, making it much easier for year-to-year comparisons and climatological data keeping. Essentially, this is the month where we start to see that slow and steady temperature decline. Our average today in Fargo is 78, and by the end of the month, our average high is, well, right around 65 degrees. Mother Nature not getting the memo at all. We are starting already on the mild side, 59 in Fargo, Grand Forks, and in Detroit Lakes, 56 in Jamestown, 60 at this time in Bemidji, 67 in Devil's Lake. And we are going to really heat things up today. If you thought yesterday was warm, today is going to be warmer. By the lunchtime hour, some low 80s. And in Fargo this afternoon for your drive time home and heading into your dinner time hour, temperatures are going to be quite warm with plenty of sunshine, a little bit of a southerly wind. We're looking at upper 80s to near 90 degrees. The warmest temperatures will be off to the west and even parts of the northern valley. Grand Forks 90 degrees, 91 in Jamestown, 89 in Oaks, 90 in Sisseton. That's also where we're going to see the most notable southerly breeze today. So stick around. I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast of what you can expect in terms of any cloud cover or precipitation as a cool front moves through later tonight. And of course, we'll have that full 7-day forecast of how long we're going to stay warm in the start of our September.
And that's not just warm, we're talking hot. That's very warm.
Sweaty start.
All right, I like that clarification.
Right.
Summer, thank you this morning.
Time now is 6:04. UND officials are working to connect ancestors of human remains after a shocking discovery on the Grand Forks campus. Dozens of human remains and indigenous artifacts were found inside a closet.
Now, one member of the Native American Grave and Repatriation Act Compliance Committee was there during the discovery. She is also a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians.
They felt betrayed, angry, sad, frustrated, and exhausted. All feelings and emotions that happen when grieving. I will never forget the look on their faces and the sound of their voices as well.
Representatives from 13 tribes have been notified. UND officials say the sacred items will be returned in a manner that is consistent with the Native American Grave and Repatriation Act involving tribal nations, federal and state agencies.
That's the craziest part, is that remains were found, not just objects, and that's just wild to think about.
UND says counseling teams are available to support Native American students, faculty, and staff. Police are releasing the names of 4 people who died in a murder-suicide in northern North Dakota, but they are not indicating who the shooter was at this time. 56-year-old Doug Dulmage of Leeds, North Dakota, was the owner of the property where the shooting took place.
Yeah, that's right. And the 3 other victims are Justin and Richard Bracken of Leeds and Robert Bracken of Candu. Investigators believe an argument led to the shootings. A handgun was then found at the scene. A Red Lake, Minnesota man is going to prison for 20 years for raping a woman in 2020 who he picked up on the side of the road. That woman was walking near the Red Lake Reservation that November and was then offered a ride by 30-year-old John Sayers.
But instead of taking her where she wanted to go, he brought her to a camper near his workplace, strangled her, and sexually assaulted her. Sayers pleaded guilty to the crime and admitted to another sexual assault. An Oakley, Minnesota man is in the hospital after being struck by a car in East Grand Forks. The Polk County Sheriff's Office says 46-year-old Donald Howard was securing a load on a trailer when he was struck by a vehicle driven by 41-year-old Christina Potacek of Warren.
Howard is now being treated in Grand Forks. No word on any charges in that case. A Fargo car dealer is frustrated with the number of vehicle thefts lately, and he doesn't think enough is being done by the city and the police to protect people from those thieves. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling has that story.
They are easy to break the glass and they started right away.
Car thefts have always been a problem, and 2020 is no different. Across the country, there was a surge in Kia Souls being stolen, following a social media trend called the Kia Challenge. Marwan Ali, who owns MA Auto Sales, has had multiple cars stolen from his lot. In April, this Kia Sorento was stolen and deemed a total loss afterwards. Then this summer, another Kia was stolen, causing damage on the way out of the lot.
So all this I'm losing basically. On that, still I don't see any protection from the government, to be honest. I'm really upset, to be honest.
One woman says she's had her car stolen twice this year. Ali doesn't feel like enough is being done by the city and the police to protect people from these car thefts.
They should protect it. They should easy to cut them, to stop them, to put them in jail or something, you know. They have to do something.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
Fargo police say they have not seen a trend of stolen Kias within the city. Well, we're taking a look at a traffic alert for people driving Interstate 94 in Moorhead today. The state DOT says the eastbound exit ramp at 20th Street is closing from 8:30 this morning to about 3 this afternoon.
That ramp was recently resurfaced and crews are back today to complete some final striping. September is Hunger Action Month, and the area's organizations are taking action to help those who are hungry in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
Yeah, the Valley Today's Jillian Trudeau is live with more information and how we may be able to help out. Good morning, Jillian.
Good morning, guys. That's right. With Hunger Action Month, the organization Food of the Month is hosting an event for the first, actually they host events for the first Friday of every month. So this Friday for September, they're going to be at the Emergency Food Pantry where actually Stacy Logreen here with me now is going to be speaking. So tell us a little bit more about the event and what you're going to be speaking about.
Yeah, for the first Fridays is really focused on food in our area, and tomorrow we'll be focusing on food insecurity and hunger. I'm one of the speakers, and I'm really excited to be on the panel.
And why is it important?
I think people don't realize how many people are hungry in our community, and if we look at the children, 10% of Cass and Clay County kids are actually living in poverty and food insecure.
And what can people do to help out?
I think 3 major things that people can do is to volunteer at the different nonprofits that are out there working on hunger, donate food and funds, and I think too just becoming involved. If they come out tomorrow, learn a little bit more about us, to be able to talk more efficiently about hunger.
And speaking about what you can do and just donating and volunteering, this is actually the 50th anniversary at the Emergency Food Pantry here. So we'll have more information about that event, but you all are invited to come out and help out.
Okay, Jillian Trudeau reporting live on a very important thing for our community here. Thank you.
Still to come this Thursday morning, solar farms and netting zero emissions, how the U.S. military is going green.
Yeah, and we look outside, still a lot of green out there this morning. Well, right now you can't really